I'd like to start our welcome and announcements with some family news, not mine, thank goodness, some church family news. First off, the sympathy, love, and prayers of the congregation are extended to the family of Ursula Thompson. Ursula went into the presence of the Lord on September 15th, and her funeral service is going to be held on Tuesday, and I would like to express my gratitude to Reverend Linda Graham, who will be officiating. This preacher is burning the candle at both ends and like 3 spots in the middle. So I couldn't take any more. So thank you so much, Linda. Speaking of funeral services, I would like to express the gratitude of the Marsden family for your love and prayers over the past few weeks. It was powerful to show up to her place, the manse, where she's staying, with a stack about this big of cards. So thank you so much. And I know that's only a sampling, because when I got there and saw every possible flat surface covered in cards, I know that some of you had already mailed cards, and I know that many of you have mailed cards since. So thank you. I'd like to tell you she's doing fine, but she's very sad. And those of you who have been in this position, you know what that's like. And so please continue to reach out, send a note, maybe in a few weeks or around Christmas time. I think that would be really valuable to Yvonne and the family. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for praying for me while I was over there. I knew I'd be jet lagged afterwards, but this is something else. So thank you for your grace and patience today as well. Doing Mike's service was one of, if not the hardest thing I'd ever done. So thank you for holding me up in prayer. I want to share congratulations on 2 accounts. First of all, while playing the preludes, Brian is telling me, hey, Jacqui, I got invited to conduct at Carnegie Hall. So Brian, you're such a superstar. We've got such an amazing director of music here at Knox. So I guess that's happening in 2025. I'll see if I'll give you the Sunday off. So that's exciting. Chat with Brian to find out more about that. Also, I'd like to share congratulations to the Platt family. Yesterday afternoon, we celebrated the wedding of their middle boy, Adam, to his longtime partner, Angie. And it was a beautiful celebration of their love. We still have the flowers down the center aisle. I don't know if the camera can catch that, but it was just a beautiful service, and I know they are at home in their jammies with their feet up. So congrats to Adam and Angie and the Platt family. September 30th is coming up, and we are going to have a celebration of Mike's ministry on that day here at Knox at 2 o'clock. So all are welcome. We will live stream it as well. So if you aren't able to make it to Reverend Mike's celebration of life service, you can watch it later online if you have to, and there will be a reception to follow. September 30th is also National Truth and Reconciliation Day, sometimes called, or the shorthand seems to be Orange Shirt Day, which is why we're doing it this week ahead of next Saturday. Orange Shirt Day recalls that in 1973, 6-year-old Phyllis Webstat entered the St. Joseph Mission Residential School in British Columbia. Young Phyllis was wearing a new orange shirt that her grandmother had gotten for her first day of school. But the mission oblates quickly stripped her of her new shirt and replaced it with the school's institutional uniform. There is a fuller story, certainly, if you go to orangeshirtday.org. Wearing an orange shirt on September 30th is one way to publicly and collectively remember the intense and enduring harm that was done to Indigenous children and communities through the residential school system. It is also a way of showing support for survivors and intergenerational survivors whose lives have been impacted by the schools. And it feels like we're learning more and more. Each week, each month, we're discovering more and more of the atrocities. And so this is part of that recognition. The orange shirts also honor the many Indigenous children who never made it home from the schools. The Center for Truth and Reconciliation maintains a registry of the thousands of children who died at residential schools, though these lists are incomplete and thousands of unmarked burial sites on the grounds of formal residential schools have been announced. Wearing an orange shirt next Saturday, or any day, will not itself end the harm from the ongoing legacy of residential schools, but when we wear orange shirts or even just an orange ribbon or whatever, we can talk to others about why we're wearing them. And we can participate in events and activities that support truth, healing, and reconciliation. We can help to create awareness of the individual, family, and community intergenerational impacts of residential schools. We also witness to the truth that every child matters. Doing so is one way among many needed to support healing. So the reason I decided to do this the Sunday before the 30th is because many of you will have children or grandchildren or neighbors or nieces or nephews. This is huge in the school systems, and they're going to be talking about it a lot this week. They're going to be looking for an orange shirt to wear, and so this gives you a little heads up, a little education ahead of time, so you can enter into those conversations with the children and young people in your life. They are getting education I didn't even get, so we're constantly learning and growing. The coffee hosts for today are Iram and Adriel, and I will announce that a little later as well. Adriel flipped slides for us last week, which was fantastic. Speaking of, if there's anyone who would be interested in joining the balcony gang and flipping the slides, that would be great. Otherwise, we'll just leave it on the prelude slides the whole service and see what happens. That's it for me. That was a lot. So I'm going to hand it over now to Sue, who also helped with church school last week, and I heard it was fantastic.